Imagine stepping onto another planet and dying within seconds. You see flashes of burning on Venus, freezing on Neptune, and suffocating on Mars. On some planets, you would not even have time to scream, but the way you die is very different on each planet. What would actually happen to the human body on each planet? Would you freeze first or suffocate? Would your blood boil or your body crush instantly? And which planet gives you the most painful death? Deadly reality. Humans are adapted only to Earth. No oxygen, pressure, or safe temperature. Explore planets. Next is Mercury. Instant exposure. On Mercury, there is no atmosphere to protect you from the vacuum of space. The moment you arrive, the lack of air causes immediate suffocation. At the same time, the absence of pressure makes the fluids inside your body begin to boil. Temperatures swing violently between extreme heat and freezing cold, depending on where you stand. Your skin is exposed to these brutal changes instantly. Within seconds, your body starts shutting down. You would lose consciousness quickly, but Mercury is nothing compared to what comes next. There is absolutely no chance of survival in this harsh and unforgiving environment ever. Next is Mars. Slow suffocation. On Mars, the situation feels deceptively survivable at first glance, but it is still deadly. The atmosphere is extremely thin and mostly carbon dioxide, which means there is almost no oxygen to breathe. As soon as you inhale, your blood oxygen levels begin to drop rapidly. You start feeling dizzy and disoriented. Within moments, your vision fades and your body weakens. Unconsciousness follows quickly. Death comes within minutes due to suffocation. You might survive slightly longer, but not for long. Mars gives you time to feel the fear before everything ends. This brief delay makes the experience even more terrifying. Next is Moon. Silent death. On the Moon, there is no atmosphere at all, creating a complete vacuum. There is no sound, no air, and no protection from space. The moment you step onto the surface, the same effects of vacuum exposure begin immediately. You cannot breathe, and your body starts to react violently to the lack of pressure. Your blood begins to boil, and your lungs collapse if you try to inhale. Within seconds, you lose consciousness. Death follows shortly after, but now things get far worse than anything you have seen so far. The emptiness around you makes the experience feel completely hopeless. Next is Jupiter. Crushing descent. Jupiter offers a completely different kind of death, one that unfolds as you fall endlessly. There is no solid ground to stand on, only layers of thick gas pulling you deeper. As you descend, the pressure increases rapidly, squeezing your body from all sides. At the same time, the temperature begins to rise dramatically. Your body cannot withstand these forces. You are crushed slowly while being heated at the same time. Eventually, the pressure and heat destroy you, and you would never reach the core of this massive planet. There is no escape as gravity keeps pulling you down forever. Next is Saturn. Frozen and crushed. Saturn may appear less intense than Jupiter, but it is still deadly. Like Jupiter, it has no solid surface, and you would continue falling through layers of gas. The upper layers are extremely cold, freezing your body quickly. As you go deeper, the pressure builds and begins to crush you. The combination of freezing temperatures above and crushing forces below creates a brutal environment. Your body cannot survive these extremes. In the end, Saturn delivers a slow and inevitable death that you cannot escape from at all. It may seem calmer from afar, but it is still a completely unforgiving place. Next is Venus. The worst nightmare begins. Venus is where everything becomes truly horrifying. The surface temperature is around 470 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt metal. The atmosphere is extremely thick, filled with carbon dioxide and clouds of sulfuric acid. Pressure on the surface is about 90 times greater than Earth. The moment you arrive, your body is crushed instantly by the immense pressure while the extreme heat burns you at the same time. There is no chance to react or escape. You would not just die, you would be completely destroyed in seconds. This is not survival. It is total annihilation beyond anything humans can imagine. Next is Uranus and Neptune, frozen silence. Uranus and Neptune present a different kind of terror, one driven by extreme cold and violent winds. Temperatures drop below -200 degrees Celsius, instantly freezing any exposed human body. At the same time, winds move faster than the strongest hurricanes on Earth, tearing through everything. Your body would freeze almost instantly, and your organs would shut down within moments. There is no warmth, no protection, and no escape from the cold emptiness. But freezing might actually be less painful than what happens next, because some deaths in space involve much more prolonged suffering. At this point, a disturbing realization begins to form. The worst deaths in space are not always the fastest ones. Some planets kill you instantly, while others make you experience every second of the process. On Mars, you slowly suffocate. On Venus, you are crushed and burned at the same time. On Jupiter, you are compressed endlessly. Each planet offers a different form of destruction. Space does not simply end your life. It tears your body apart in completely different ways depending on where you are. This is what makes space far more terrifying than it first appears. These deadly outcomes are not imaginary. They are based on real physics and human biology. When there is no atmospheric pressure, the fluids inside your body begin to boil, causing severe damage. When pressure is extremely high, your body is compressed beyond its limits. Extreme heat burns tissues instantly, while extreme cold freezes cells and stops vital functions. Contrary to popular belief, you do not explode in space. Instead, death occurs within seconds to minutes depending on the environment. These reactions are predictable, and they show how fragile the human body truly is outside Earth. When you compare all of this, one thing becomes very clear. Earth is perfectly balanced for life. The right amount of oxygen, pressure, and temperature allows humans to survive and thrive. Every other planet in our solar system is hostile and deadly. Even small changes in these conditions can lead to instant death. This reminds us that life on Earth is incredibly rare and delicate. It exists within a narrow range of conditions that we often take for granted every single day without realizing how special it truly is. If you found this journey through space deaths fascinating, there is much more to explore. You might enjoy discovering what would happen if you fell into a black hole, where reality itself begins to break apart. Because in space, survival is never guaranteed, and every environment presents a new and terrifying challenge. And some deaths out there are far stranger than you can even imagine.